Christmas obviously is a fairly magical time for everyone, and as a video producer, I greatly value the time because the season includes some pretty big box office feature films that always have some amazing special effects and graphics on screen that are very educational to me. But recently I went to see Arthur Christmas. And if any of you have kids at home, it's a film that reveals kind of the incredible, never before seen world and answer to every child's question of how does Santa deliver all those presents in one night. The answer viewers find is really quite a heartfelt depiction of a small business with incredible growth, and whereby the executive leadership powers are passed down from father to son, one independent business professional to another, and one corporate marketer, if you will, to another. And the story shows how family-owned businesses, or of a traditional, if you will, transportation business and its methods, are in how they deliver their products and services, and how they've evolved, if you will, over the years, from that original kind of reindeer-pulled sleigh to something a little bit more high-tech, and I won't ruin the film for you. But it's a high-tech system with elf task forces that really could rival the current Mission Impossible efficiency and invisibility that we kind of know with other types of films. Looking beyond that dysfunctional family that the story itself heals, the film really reveals a story about different approaches to solving a very specific customer service problem in order to create 100% satisfaction guarantee for their consumers. Now, whether you've seen the film or not, this film that's probably going to soon join the Bert Ives, Rudolph and Frosty classics remind us that the holidays are a time for reviewing business performance and the targets that we have. It's a time when savvy and successful business owners are kind of finalizing the new year goals and business plans and their next quarter marketing plans. For those of you who've been with us a while, you'll recall we did some dream building last year at the same time. And the stack here was all of our wishes from last year. Now, although we don't have time to go through them today, the holidays offers many business lessons for any entrepreneur. And some statistical reality during December's marketer mastermind courses that were launched, professionals assessed and strategized their marketing plans. Outside of the simple fact that all weren't spending enough on marketing dollars, almost all participants discovered that their revenue goals did not match where they were investing and spending their actual networking or marketing time. And so common sense tells any business owner, or technically, a sales professional, it's really vital to sell to those who can afford your services or your products. In the lies the title of our discussion today, in that we are talking today about presenting to the prosperous. It's Santa's 6 secrets, if you will, for selling to the affluent or the influential. Given the holiday season, as business owners, we can learn a lot about this topic from Santa Claus and the historic corporation North Pole Inc. Regarding our sales processes. Everyone knows Santa is a class act. That's ACT, A-C-T. So reviewing his work together, we'll reveal 6 sales success strategies to increase our income. Santa sells, and you've got your agenda if you need to take notes. Santa sells to a select audience. Okay, North Pole Inc. produces products that are specifically for children. Now, Santa is selling to those who can afford to buy what his company has to offer. Okay, Santa's gifts are free, so they go to children. Okay, the business lesson is that for selling to the affluent is that you need to have a very targeted, specific buyer demographic. Number 2, part of Santa's theme song, which we won't ask Jennifer to sing, is that he knows when you've been sleeping, he knows when you're awake, he knows if you've been bad or good. So the business second lesson about selling to the affluent and influential is that you've got to do your homework. You must research your target market and know them exceptionally well, better than they think you do. Understand the tangibles and the intangibles of what's important to that buyer demographic as a group and as the individuals representing in those groups that you're working with one-on-one. When Santa does this, it makes him an authority, an authority in his on children. 3, Santa represents the vision, mission, and values of his company. He earns his theme song, or what I like to call his corporate tagline. He walks his talk. He listens to prayers. He reads correspondence carefully. He decides who receives his service. He grants wishes. He delivers via convenience and a mutually agreed deadline. Therefore, he has credibility, C, and it's secured because neither the child as the buyer or Santa as the seller changes the verbal or unwritten agreement deadline on a whim. Number 4, Santa also knows his business. He understands his low and high revenue periods. During a peak sales season, he directs his marketing team to have exposure campaigns in place in carefully selected places. Any of you been to a mall of late? He's got those there and to target those consumers, which are to remind children or the customer of his company. Santa's look-alike forces are everywhere, okay? Companies, they're targeting consumers at this time of year. Now, in his off-seasons, his marketing materials sit in customers' home libraries so that a child at pleasure can dust off a book, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas, or pop in a video, there's a lot out there, to remind themselves about the incomparable and magical buying experience. Okay? Number 5, Santa's customers admire him. Okay? Children honor him with songs, free publicity, and religious referrals. Right? Santa's the coolest. This is what I got from Santa. Did you write your Santa letter? They have them write them in school, right? Okay, so Santa gets it that he is in a strategic partnership with his consumers. He might be selling magic and toys, but children are selling him back joy and laughter. Now, Santa, what does he want as that seller? He wants time saved. He wants his work simplified. He wants the services streamlined. He wants his experience as a provider eased. He's been able to do that by a very communicative sales process. Everybody knows when those gifts are coming, right? How he's going to deliver them. That no, you can't go to the Santa's workshop. Okay? And he also has a very disciplined vending process. Okay? So the number one thing business owners often overlook is that every time they invite a seller in to sit down to try to sell with them, or in other words, you're going to buy from somebody, okay? You are actually representing your brand. You are actually representing whether or not the person who's trying to sell you something will want to do business with you or buy from you or refer you in the future. And we know statistically that that's the biggest one overlooked. So take a moment and reflect on the sales presentations you walked over the last year. Consider how you interacted and ask yourself, would you want to attempt to sell a product to yourself? The super secret real situation is that the real referral truth is that every person is trying to vend you a service, and everyone who is trying to do that is a potential prosperous or influential consumer. If you make sellers jump through your buying hoops, it's highly likely that you're killing your potential to sell to them anything in the future or earn a colleague's referral. Okay? Number 6, and finally, Santa spreads magic and joy wherever he goes. Selling to the affluent and influential is like that. Santa's service makes Christmas morning easy. Santa's quality system saves parents time. Santa's craftsmanship in toy making ensures a quality product. Neither child or what I'd like to call the ancillary family members are affected by his process. None of them see the workshop or tell Santa how to make the toy, right? Santa's respected for his expertise. His skill and his wisdom, having earned buyers' trust, our final T on Santa is a class act. And the business that he has manufactured really is manufacturing of quality products in secrecy for generations, right? That's the way the story goes. So this is why Santa's a class act. This is why he's a great person this time of year to learn from about how to sell and to the prosperous and affluent. In this case, Santa's got the authority, he's got the credibility, and he has the trustworthiness of basically his consumers, which not only is the specific target of the children, but everyone whose lives those children behave or don't behave in during the holiday season. So it's a simple story. It's maybe a silly story, but I think there's a lot of wisdom that can come from Santa in terms of targeting who we sell to. So this is our topic today. Probably focusing on point 5 would be a good place to begin, because we all know, just by the number of times we've all met with each other over the year and 3 quarters, for those of you who've been around that long, that we've been doing this type of informal type of a group. Or if you were with me back in 2002 when we started, that we all know that each other is very good at what they do. We all know that each one in this room, and you wouldn't be in this room, because I wouldn't let you, if you didn't have some understanding of customer service, integrity, character. If you didn't have those things, we would have 86 you. So the real challenge is, how do we make sure that our processes ensure potential sales and referrals from the other side of the coin? So that's the topic I throw out today, of things maybe we might be able to do. And anyone has any thoughts or comments on this presentation, certainly chime in.